Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is a daily love and relationship reading for Friday, July 10th, right? Yes. So, wow, already one coming out. The Chariot again. Dude, okay. Dudes, dudettes. This is the third time, like 3 days in a row, this card has come out first. Like, if you haven't watched Wednesday and Thursday's reading, I highly suggest watching those because the messages build on each other. So even though they are also dated, so say like you just found my channel or you just started watching, whatever, even though the messages are dated, start from the beginning of like whenever you feel called. I mean, I know I don't give descriptions, which maybe that would be helpful for you guys, but I feel like whichever one you're drawn to watch, you're going to start watching from there and then watch sequentially because they build on each other. I'm telling a story. Wow. Two of Cups, like, whoo. So the Chariot has come out, and you know, each time it comes out, it has a slightly different meaning. That's what I love about intuitive reading, is that, and the Lovers, oh my god. What the fuck? What the fuck is happening? Sorry, I just got like all like a like someone who wants to squeeze a baby or a puppy because they're so goddamn cute. That's me. Sometimes I get like that with my cat, and he hates me. That's probably why he wakes me up early in the morning. Anyways, just gotta laugh at yourself. I just got like, let's chill. Like, you can see I'm excited. I apologize. We're all adults here, and if you're not an adult, please stop watching. I'm not sure this is appropriate for you little ones. So anyways, what I love about intuitive reading is that every time, like every session is different. So even if it's picking up on a same people situation, like things constantly change. The thing about energy is that it's constantly moving and changing. It's fluid, just like our emotions, right? So they come and go, they ebb and flow. And so I could look at these cards for years and see something brand new in, you know, like after doing it for 4 years, and see something I've never seen before and have a message come through before that I've never had come through. That's what I love about this. It's always different. It's always changing. It's always flowing. So each message, for the most part, has a slightly different meaning. So even though this card, the Chariot, has come out 3 days in a row, the very first card, like that's pretty significant. And actually, oh shoot, did let someone borrow my, I think she still has it. I have this like pamphlet thing that has like quick meanings of it. Oh, actually, well, I just want to look in the little booklet of what it says, because like I can interpret things, but I feel like because it's come out so 3 times that I'm being called to like look at the essential meaning, like the traditional meaning, because I don't necessarily read cards traditionally. Let's see. Providence, also war, triumph, presumption, vengeance, trouble. The Chariot can, I don't know what this word means. Succor, S-U-C-C-O-R. I'll have to look that up, and I can't right now because I'm using my phone, but so triumph is standing out to me. I don't feel like this is a negative card. I feel like it's triumph. So, and again, it's like, for me, this card is about moving forward. It's about quick movement forward, right? And so triumph is okay. Triumph over a thing. 7s are lucky numbers. It's about a spiritual path to me. 7s are very spiritual. It's like luck shifting in your favor. So I feel like there's this shift that's happening where, and to me, it's like, it's over love. It's because we have the 2 best, like, if you were asking about a love relationship in your life and these 2 cards came out in the same reading, like that's a pretty good indication that this person is your soulmate, your twin flame, someone who is a good match for you. So these 2 came out back to back, like, so there's like triumph over maybe the obstacles you've experienced in love. Like, you're finally getting over that hurdle. I talk a lot about a pendulum swing, right? So if you're wanting to shift and go to the complete opposite spectrum or way that the pendulum's swinging, you have to keep oscillating back and forth before you can finally make that upswing. And I feel like that's what this is like the upswing. The momentum has finally built in that direction to where you're actually having triumph over whatever it was you were experiencing. The Chariot's also Cancer. We're in Cancer season. So Cancer season is huge for a lot of people right now, I feel like, in terms of shifts and things happening, movement forward. Excuse me. And then the Two of Cups is about love and harmony with another person. It can also represent within yourself as well. But I feel like we're past that point. If you resonate with my stuff, you know, you've probably been doing some personal transformation, self-development work for a while. And then we have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy. But it's about your counterpart, your mirror reflection. And that is not necessarily a soulmate, because like to me soulmates are people who you resonate with them on a soul level, and it's usually easy and they teach you lessons, and they can be in your life for a long time or for your entire life. You know, sometimes we have soulmate children, soulmate mothers, fathers, friends. Soulmates can be any of those types of connections. Twin flame, however, is your one counterpart that's like your best vibrational match, and they're meant to push you, and they're usually meant to, like, you guys are meant to push each other in order to grow and evolve spiritually, and also to produce in the physical world some kind of mission that you have for humanity. So usually you're healers, light workers, star seeds, you have some kind of esoteric mission, and it doesn't necessarily have to mean, like, you know, you could just do coaching or like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, because I know for like a lot of masculines, like, you don't have to be a healer, you don't have to be into crystals, you don't have to be doing tarot cards, you don't have to be doing Reiki. You can be just coaching people, being a motivational speaker. That's what I was thinking. You could be producing music, you create music together. You know, there's so many different missions that, but it becomes a profession of yours. It becomes something that you do, and people then you motivate, inspire, enlighten other people. You are meant to help bring the masses into the great awakening and mass enlightenment. That's the purpose of twin flames coming together, and it's usually excruciatingly painful, because you're forced to face, not only is it the most, you know, the best, most loving experience you've had with somebody, it's also, you are showing each other your deepest, darkest shadows, and that can be excruciatingly painful. My goodness, we have the Ten of Cups on the bottom. Look, we have the, oh wow, the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Empress, and the Ace of Cups. Damn. And the Magician. Wow. Well, what I'm getting here, though, is that there may be a choice between two people for feminine energy. Because you see, I put them in the, I mean, I put her in the middle, but there's two kings here, and there's one empress, but there's no emperor, right? There's no counterpart to her. It doesn't mean that these two people can't level up and become her counterpart, but it's probably because she hasn't chosen one right yet. So, like, King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. King of Wands can be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, but it doesn't have to be. Let me put these aside for a second. This came out, I was saying something and I lost my thought. Anyways, the Nine of Wands is about the wounded warrior, feeling like you've been through a battle, you've been kind of beat down, you're wounded, and you're struggling to continue forward because you feel like there's no use, basically. Like, can it get any worse? And the card after is the Ten of Wands, which is about feeling burdened, but it's also about putting burdens down and realizing that you're holding a lot of burdens that don't necessarily belong to you. I think we already picked up on, in one of the readings this week, that either the masculine or feminine was working on clearing this. And then we have the Ace of Cups, which is like an offer of love. But to me, it can also represent self-love, like my cup running over. The more I fill my cup and the more that I focus on my one cup to myself, the more I have to give to others, the more I am open and receptive, and the more that I attract, right? Or the better vibrational match that I attract. And so what I heard was like transmutation, because then we have the magician, which is like having all the tools that you need in order to be your own creator, use your source energy and create what you want. And so the feminine has kind of shifted, because you'll see that if you're looking at it the way I'm looking at it, is his back is to this Ace of Cups, and I feel like because she's choosing to go in the opposite direction of this energy, right? She's not choosing to look in that. She's like, no, I'm choosing to love myself. I'm not going to look and be woe is me anymore and feel like the wounded warrior. I'm going to choose to use my innate power to create what I want. Because then also the Ten of Pentacles was on the bottom, and I was drawn to this. So this is like basically having a emotionally fulfilling life. This is happiness, pure joy and bliss. So she's choosing to create that for herself, right? And so as she's doing this, she's elevating herself into this Empress, which is the mother archetype. She's fertile, she's grounded. She's not pregnant in this card, but usually she's depicted as being pregnant. But you'll see she has the female, the feminine symbol there, because she is like the embodiment in the 3D world of the feminine. She's able to transmute. And again, this was one message that I picked up on like years ago, was that threes to me represent two elements coming together and creating a third energy. That's what happens when twin flames come together. It's that transmutation, that your relationship becomes its own entity. The love and the energy that you put into what you're creating together in the world, whether that's a child or like, but it usually is more than just like children and a family. It is the offering you're giving to the world in order to help assist humanity in their evolution. It becomes a third entity on its own. I mean, any relationship really becomes a third entity. I just don't think that we're taught to see things like that. And which is why I think a lot of relationships fail, because we're not seeing it as, it's like we have ourselves, we have our partner has themselves, and then we have together the relationship. And but like with the twin flame relationship, it's like on steroids. Like it becomes such a large thing. Like people stop and stare at these two people who are so in love and so connected, and so they're doing what they're supposed to do in the 3D world, like in terms of mission and all of that, that it's like, it is very magnetic. Like people take notice because they're not used to seeing that type of thing. So that's to me what threes can represent, especially specifically the Empress. Like she's the one who transmutes negative, low vibrational energy, and especially too like mother in sending it down to Mother Earth. You know that you can send any negative, low vibrational energy that you don't want down to Mother Earth, and she transmutes it. Like that's the power of the Empress embodied in the 3D world, in the physical world. And then she has these two counterparts, because I don't feel like they are the same. Like they could absolutely be the same person, like having, because we can tap into all of these different energies, right? Once you've mastered them. So this could be one masculine who has mastered both and has both, but I'm not feeling that today. What I'm feeling is because like he's been coming out, right? And then I think we had the King of Cups yesterday, which could also be a different person, but I felt like it was this person wanting to meet the feminine where she's at. But now I feel like we have this other person who's come in all of a sudden, like I said, is like a very grounded, stable, possibly secure, like maybe has a lot of finances, like a lot of money. It doesn't matter. Like you can be secure and stable in many different ways, but because it's pentacles, tends to be money, right? So which allows you, like usually when we have money in the physical world, it helps us feel more secure and stable, because we have a lot of resources. Then we can pay for things that we generally need. So now this energy is still the same that has been coming up this week, and he is working on his confidence. He's working on his passion, his outward. It's also being patient, because I feel like the King of Wands, wands represent fire, so that can be fire. It can be very like quick moving and like wanting to come in and like being kind of impulsive. So he's working on being patient, confident, and clear, and making sure he has clarity. But now we have competition, I say. So where are my cards? That one got put pushed back in. Why did it get pushed back in? The Knight of Pentacles, yeah. Nobody wants to be like this, the Knight of Pentacles, which is like slow and steady sloth movement, basically. Not to say that that's bad, but I think just in our society, we're not used to that. And we just get impatient. But that's maybe that King of Pentacles energy. Like, he's used to being like that because he's grounded. And he's an earth sign, most likely. So yeah, so then, because I'm seeing it's underneath him now. And now this Three of Wands is underneath the Empress. This is about waiting for your ships to come in. I feel like she's just waiting for offers to come in. She's kind of like, well, I put up my intentions out there for the best possible match to come in for me. So now I'm just waiting for that match to show up in my physical life. Like someone to actually communicate with me, someone to actually, you know, offer me something. I feel like that's her just sitting pretty waiting for that. We have the Queen of Pentacles on the bottom. The Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about mental chaos. It can be about mental fuckery, like someone trying to like mess with your mind. It's underneath the King of Wands. And we have the Queen of Pentacles here. To me, it's sounding like, and then we have the Two of Wands underneath that, which is like, to me, with those two cards being together, is like, okay, there may be a match or maybe a person who's like been around or like may seem like on the outwardly because maybe he takes more action immediately or something, that he's like the better match. And if you look at, you know, but looks can be deceiving also. Things can be deceiving. She's facing more towards him, like not fully, but more towards him if you're looking at these cards together like I had them. And not so much towards the King of Pentacles, because I feel like he's taking his sweet time because that's just how he operates. But eventually, she's going to turn and choose him because she's going to realize, like, he's actually the better match for me because of he's methodical, he's grounded, and see, she's facing him. He thinks about his choices before acting. He has established a good foundation for himself, that kind of thing, and that can take a while. And then again, like, and then underneath that was the Two of Wands, and again, this is facing towards the King of Pentacles. I feel like if you're wondering about two people, and you're thinking of one person who's more like this, the King of Pentacles, I'd say that it's being, it's leaning more towards that person, even though maybe outwardly it doesn't seem like it's the best match yet because maybe he moves very slowly, or he hasn't offered something yet, or because he hasn't fully come in yet, or maybe this is him finally coming in because he's ready and you kind of had written it off as it's not going to work out. But you have this other person in your life who's the King of Wands type energy, but you know, I'm just not getting, like, I'm getting this, it's mental conflict. Like, the King of Wands is conflicted. He's not fully sure. Whereas, like, even though the Knight of Pentacles moves very slowly, he's sure about his decisions because he took a while to think about it and to move in that direction. So you can trust him more. Death, that's Scorpio energy. I don't know if I'm feeling these. Well, I mean, these did fall out. I'm just not really sure about them. Then we have the Queen of Cups again. The Ten of Pentacles and the Strength. So it's because the reason it took a while is because this King of Pentacles had to go through a personal transformation, a death and a rebirth. And I feel like he's finally out on the other side. And the Ten of Pentacles, you know, is like happy, stable home life, including money, career, job. Well, those are the same things. House, kids, family, whatever. Strength is about taming your beasts. And learning how to love. That's what I'm hearing, is like learning how to love a woman for who she is and how she shows up. And how, because like I know we've talked about this, the Strength card is about gentle strength. It's not about forceful strength. And that's what I feel like this King of Wands energy was. Maybe you've been attracted to that type of energy. You know, and those are the types of men that you, or this person has, or women, has, been attracted to, entertained in the past, but now you're kind of realizing is like, that's not necessarily, like, it hasn't worked out with those people because those people actually aren't very stable. They're not actually reliable. They haven't actually done the work. They're very, very quick moving in and out. I'll talk and maybe they do take action, but they're not super stable. They haven't, yeah, and then we have the Three of Cups. They're more about, so this card can be about partying, like drinking, because it is about celebrations, right? So what do people usually do when we come together is drink and celebrate. And so I feel like that this person is more about what feels good in the moment. It's about instant gratification rather than long-term benefit. And so that's where the King of Pentacles differs, right? If someone is more of a grounded, stable Pentacles energy, thinking his actions through, taking the time to develop a foundation, to build things, to save, to you know, all of that. Whereas this person's more about like whatever feels good in the moment. Like, oh, like I'm gonna do this right now, but you know, with the mental the instability, I feel like this is mental instability here. It's like you can't trust that he's not gonna just leave the next time, you know, the next shiny thing he sees, next hot girl he sees, or you know, next hot guy she sees, that kind of thing. Okay, do we need to get any more? No, I'm not really feeling. Yeah, let's move on to the Oracle cards because I feel like that's a pretty clear message. Okay, so a message I was hearing when I was choosing cards was like, we need to be speaking to the rebel within, whoever's listening, because I feel like it's you because you're a rebel at heart, or you're attracted to that like rebel, like bad boy type energy, bad girl type energy. You need to realize that that's not necessarily the best thing for you long term. And maybe we choose things in our life, and how we do one thing is how we do all things, right? So if you're choosing partners like that, are you actually feeling into making stable, grounded decisions when you're planning the rest of your life and making other decisions in your life, right? So I'm speaking to the rebel in all of us and some advice. These are my rebel, sacred rebel cards by Alana Fairchild. I dropped it. In the world, not of the world. Yeah, see, look how free-flowing she is. And again, it's a 34, so 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 is a big number. It's like we don't want to be restricted, and I get that. And I don't want to be. Nobody does. And so I think there's like this fear attached to this person who's more stable and grounded, who maybe grounds you, that you're gonna be controlled, or you're gonna be told what to do. And you know, like as soon as you feel like that, you get anxious and you start to want to like rebel. These are actually pretty long messages too, so hopefully this one isn't super long. Okay. I'm going to read this whole thing. You ready? Listen up. Grab your tea, grab your coffee. I'll try to read slowly. Okay. In the world, not of the world. You'll see how she's like in the water and like in the ebb and flow of her emotions and allowing to be guided that way. Okay. It is safe for you to become naked with life. This doesn't necessarily mean stripping off and running wild in public. It does mean stripping back your beliefs, strongholds, and mental or emotional security blankets so that you can live with less obstruction than ever before. Imagine the conditioning that has kept life away from you, just kept it dropping out of your hands like keys, coins, or clocks. Conditioned beliefs about money, time, security, having, locking away, holding and controlling can be surrendered and allowed to fall away. What did I just say? What would it be like to feel as though you were on a holiday every day? Perhaps there would be a softening in your way with life, an implicit trust in its flow, and a faith in the ability of time to bend and stretch as needed, so that all may be accomplished. It is at an advanced stage of our spiritual relationship with life that we are able to feel held within it sufficiently enough to surrender our defenses layer by layer and to nakedly accept what is. something else I'm getting is like, so maybe you like this type of energy, this stable, grounded energy, like you feel comfortable enough to lay it down your defense or surrender your defenses to this type of person. However, when that happens, it scares the shit out of you, because then that means you have to be vulnerable. And that's what also causes you to then rebel and go in the opposite direction. This oracle comes as a message to you. Sometimes we need our defenses. At other times, it is clear we're outgrowing them. There is something that you have outgrown. It has to do with your ideas about productivity, time, control, and money. I mean, again, with the whole King of Pentacles thing and money, it has to do with abundance, trust, and living with the fundamental belief that everything is going to turn out okay. You are ready to be much more vulnerable and exposed in life. You don't have to hide behind being organized, perfect, in control, or financially secure and stable, nor do you need any other acceptable social face. It is time for you to loosen the strings of your own controlling nature. They are too tight and too restrictive for you anyway. You were born to live a much freer way. When you live as you innately are, rather than how you have been conditioned to be, you will experience greater joy, freedom, and support. When you are not resisting yourself or resisting life, there is less resisting what you need as it comes to you. If you have also drawn, okay, that's if you, okay. So you are being guided to trust. If you have also drawn the Oracle of Trust Yourself, then you are not only being guided to rely on life, but also on your own inner knowing, because at some level you get it. You understand and know that this is all freeing you. After letting go, there comes a temporary emptiness that provides a great space for fulfillment to come forth. Okay, so the healing process says, imagine you are running naked into a sea, ocean, river, or waterfall. Be cleansed. Feel it happening. Be with it. Enjoy the sensation of it. Feel freed of any weight that you no longer need, be it physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual. Go on all levels. When you are ready, just open your eyes and rest for a few moments before going back into your day or evening. You have completed your healing process. Visualization works wonderful. I'd suggest maybe doing it in the shower or the bath even too. And imagine, yourself, then while you're in the water, it's easier to imagine and get into that space of your sea, ocean, or river, or even go into the sea, ocean, or river if you can, a waterfall. And at first I would ask, if you're unclear, ask what conditioned beliefs, maybe you already know, maybe this has brought some up for you, but I want visualize or ask for that guidance. Be intentional about what conditioned beliefs about productivity, time, money, control, abundance, and scarcity am I releasing, or do I need to release? And then do that practice. So I'm thinking I want to make this simple, and I have my Universe Has Your Back cards. I haven't used these in a long time, but I just feel like we need some simple messages, because it doesn't need to be overcomplicated, and maybe you tend to overcomplicate things out of keeping yourself busy. That perfectionism piece, I feel like that's something that's huge right now. So what messages does the universe have for us to remind us that it has our back as we navigate that? Okay. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So it does take courage to become free, because when you do that, then you don't have anyone else to answer to, and that can be scary. And as a lot of people look to other people for answers, for structure, for how to live our lives, I mean, we do need some of that. It's more like guidance, but it's, we do need some type of structure. We can't control what we are brought into, in terms of the family, the experiences necessarily, unless you believe in that you chose your family or whatever to, because sometimes, I guess I do believe we're put into the perfect situation, experiences to catapult us. And it just depends on how strong our physical body is and if we're actually able to, go through our lessons and whatnot. But yeah, so we essentially, our soul does choose, but we forget when we're born here in the physical world, and we kind of we're on this journey of remembering and then unlearning the conditions that were and so that usually means taking us away from the groups of people and of who we were taught that we need to fit into their lifestyle, their beliefs, their conditions. So it is very brave to become free and unencumbered by outside restrictions. Okay, there's like a bunch. Can we just have one more? Please. Por favor, cards. Spirit. I always trust that the direction of the universe and I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. And there's a dragonfly. So maybe dragonfly is a message for someone, if that has been showing up for you. Maybe look up what a dragonfly represents. I don't know it off the top of my head. Also fish. I don't know if these are salmon. Are these salmon? Could be. Who knows? All right, so I'm just going to leave it at that. If you'd like your own personal reading with me, please go to my website at www.empoweringauthenticity.com /book-online, and follow me on Instagram at Empowering Authenticity. If you have any questions, please comment below and I will get back to you, or email me at empoweringauthenticity@gmail.com. And what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so today's Friday. I'm going away this weekend. I'm not going to be posting any videos until Monday. So taking the weekend off for myself, and I am sending you guys so much love. And like I said, if you have any questions, you need some support, please don't hesitate to reach out. Okay, bye.